All right, so today we're going to make a shortcake for a strawberry shortcake. We're going to start off with 90 grams of flour. That's 90 grams of flour. Then we're going to add 15 grams of sugar. And this will make about 3 to 4 biscuits for our shortcake. All right, next we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. The baking soda will react with the buttermilk to give it an extra rise. It will also help neutralize that buttermilk so it's not quite as acidic. All right, then we're going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're just going to mix that together real quick. Just give it a nice little mix before we add our butter. For our butter, we're going to be doing 45 grams of butter, chopped relatively small. We're going to take this, put it all into our flour mixture. We're just going to work that around with our hands. We're really just using our fingertips. We still want chunks of butter in here. We're just getting it nice and coated and mixed in. We want to keep that butter cold. We are not melting the butter. If you look, I'm just taking it between my fingertips. I'm grabbing a chunk of butter, kind of flattening it out, and grabbing it back in, grabbing one of those chunks. This will help us make a nice and flaky sort of biscuit dough. All right, so it's semi-shaggy, still got chunks of butter in there, but most of them are pretty broken up. From there, we're going to add our 60 grams of buttermilk. Perfect. We're going to get this stuff out of the way. All right, now I'm just going to get this to come together. I'm not really trying to mix it. I'm not trying to build a lot of gluten, just until it comes together. It will be relatively sticky. All right. Now we're going to flour our surface. We're going to take our dough ball right out onto that surface and just flat or pat it flat. Then we're going to fold it half and half. And we're going to press that back out. And we're going to do it again, half, half. If you need to, add a little more flour, make sure nothing sticks. We're not trying to add a lot of flour to the product. We're just trying to get it making so it doesn't stick. All right. We'll do one more fold, half, half. And we'll finish that fold, half, half. All right. At this point, our dough is done. We don't really want to work it anymore. We don't want to build more gluten. We don't want to let that butter melt any more than it already has. So we're just going to kind of shape it into whatever shapes we want. To me, I'm going to make some triangles. I'm just going to square this guy up. And now I'm going to place these guys on my baking sheet. This guy will just be for a snack. All right. Move this guy out of the way. So now our final step. We're going to take a little bit of buttermilk. And let me grab a container. You do not need a lot. We're just going to brush the tops of these and put some uh, sugar on. All right. We're just going to take some of our buttermilk, gently brush the tops of these, just make them a little bit moist. This will give them a nice brown. And will allow the sugar to stick to them. Now we're just going to take some brown sugar, give a little sprinkle on top. Don't go stingy. If you notice, there's not a lot of sugar in these. We're getting a lot of the sugar from the strawberries and the whipped cream. All right. So with those, we're going to throw them in the oven at 400 degrees for 18 to 22 minutes. And we'll be back when. And these are our final ones. If you look, you can see we've got all the layers on the side. That's what we're looking for. That'll make them nice and flaky and beautiful. We're going to let those cool down. What we'll do is we'll slice them open, add our compote, our whipped cream, and make our cute little strawberry shortcakes.